Hello and welcome back after a long time of making no videos because I was extremely busy, and now I am making this special and this very cool request by Mr. Charlie Anderson. This is the first time ever that I received this kind of request, but it's an awesome request to make and I'm really happy to do it because the results are absolutely amazing. So I received a special engine request by Mr. Charlie Anderson. He wanted a special engine, designed for heavy hauling or to be used in the military, to be used by military vehicles and by any kind of military. As you can see, this is an inline 6 engine that I've chose, which is looking absolutely great, and I made it specifically to Mr. Charlie's specifications. As you can see, it's an inline 6 engine with cast iron block. Yes, cast iron because I have to make the engine cheap. I don't want to make it expensive. That's the request here. And designing it with cast iron will make it cheap, and it will make it last longer. It will make it more reliable also. I mean, the game reliability points will not increase by using cast iron block, but in real life, cast iron lives forever if you don't push too much boost into it, and if you just don't blow it up. All right, let's move on. Cast iron block, 104.7 millimeters on the bore, 120 millimeters on the stroke, which equals 6.2 liters, or you can say 6,199 cc's. So Mr. Charlie requested a 6.2 liter inline, not inline 6. He said that the military love six cylinders or 8 cylinders. So I've chosen the 6, and I've chosen the inline version because choosing a V-shaped, even 60 or 90 degrees will make it much more expensive to make, and it will make it more complicated, and it will just make everything worse. So an inline engine is great for using in the by trucks, military vehicles, heavy hauling vehicles. And it's an awesome engine, and it's smooth, and it runs really great. Overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, cast iron heads, no VVL and no VVT, of course. That's the requested video. And as you can see, I've chosen forged steel because I want the crankshaft I wanted to maintain its reliability under high pressure and high boost and high torque as well. I've chosen heavy duty cast connecting rod and heavy duty cast pistons also for the same reason, because I want it to be more reliable, and I want to take all the punishment from the torque and the boost without any problems. Plus 10 quality here. Yes, as you can see, this engine is a little bit on the expensive side because this is a premium engine. This is not a regular crappy engine. No, this is very premium. Let me show you what next. I'm using 8.1 to 1 compression ratio with 40 on the cam profile. No VVT, as I mentioned, no VVL, no technologies whatsoever. Easy to maintain, basic engine. Plus 8 quality here on the camshaft. As you can see, I've chosen a turbocharged engine. Mr. Charlie mentioned that I can use naturally aspirated and I can use turbocharger. And as we all know, we need, as a military vehicle or as any heavy hauling vehicle, you need a torquey engine. And to make high amount of torque, you need a forced induction engine, not a naturally aspirated engine. So I've chosen a turbocharger with single turbo and ball bearing internals, 628 horsepower supporting intercooler with a special custom turbocharger. As you can see, it's 56.5 mm on the compressor and 35.6 mm on the turbine and 1.40 on the AR ratio. The max boost is 10.8 psi and the quality is 0 here. Yes, no need to use high quality turbo because it will make the engine much more expensive to make. I'm already over the budget because Mr. Charlie requested a $2,000 max engine, but I tried so much, and as you can see, increasing the camshaft quality will decrease the material cost and to make the engine cheaper to make, but it will make the engineering time extremely high. And the same thing goes for the internals. If you can increase the quality, it will make the engine or the material cheaper, but it will make the engineering time extremely high. So this is the turbo, as you can see. Now let's move on. The fuel system is a direct fuel injection with a single throttle body and standard intake manifold, because I want to make the engine quiet, and the service cost I want to make it as minimum as possible. I'm using a low quality 80 octane fuel, which is the cheapest and the worst quality fuel, the worst fuel ever made. But this is the whole point of this engine. You need to run it on any kind of fuel anywhere on earth, and that's great for using. I mean, can you imagine a 400 horsepower engine with 631 pound-feet of torque with a big turbocharger on it, and it's running on 80 octane fuel? Now that's amazing. I'm pushing in it 12.9 on the air fuel ratio, which is, it's still in the green side, it's still in the normal side, but 12.9 is a little bit high air fuel ratio. I mean, don't look at the colors, these are not really correct, because 12.9 in real life, some engines will be considered normal, but 12.9 on a 6-cylinder, yes, that's heavy, that's too much. But it's okay, because we are making good fuel economy, we are making good power and good torque. Let's move on. I'm using a 61 on the ignition timing, a little bit on the high side, with 4000 RPM limit. This is the requested video. He requested a 4000 RPM limit. Zero quality, because if I increase the quality of the fuel system, this will increase the material cost extremely high. I mean, just 1 point, an extra 1 quality, it will increase it to 2130, which is much more higher than this. And as I mentioned, I'm already over the budget by $93. I mean, they can forgive me for $93. It's not really too much. I'm using short cast headers, of course. It's a turbo manifold and a single exhaust pipe with 3-inch exhaust diameter, and I'm using also bypass valves, so I can keep the exhaust diameter smaller, and so I can keep the engine quiet at low RPM. As you can see, I'm using 3-way Curler converters, not high flow, because high flow 3-way is much more expensive to make, and I know that it will make the engine more powerful and more torquey, but it will bump the material cost all the way through the roof. So 3-way is the correct choice here, because 2-way is not really great choice. This is the cheapest and the crappiest choice you will ever put on any engine, because it will increase the emissions. Yes, it will increase the emissions, and it will make, I know that it's cheaper, but it will increase the emissions and it will kill power and torque significantly. So 3-way is in between, very cheapy and very crappy, and very expensive and very great. So this is in between. Straight through twin mufflers, because I want to make the engine, powerful and torquey, and it's still quiet. Look, 23.8 points on the loudness value. This is very quiet. I mean, I've played some scenarios here on automation that the developers design, and there are some military scenarios that you can play in the game, and they want you to design an engine with 28 loudness value, and I've designed it with 23, so I'm even quieter. Plus 15 quality, yes, of course, I had to push the exhaust to the limit, because I want to make it extremely reliable and extremely quiet, as you can see, and extremely high flow. And this is the final result, as Mr. Charlie requested, 400 horsepower on the engine, and he requested 318 on the torques, 300 Newton. Which unit did he requested the torque? He did not requested it in pound-feet. Let's see, where is the torque? I'm looking at his request right now. Oh yes, let me say something funny here. He requested a 35 plus miles per gallon. Oh, come on, man. I mean, 20%, even if I made it with 100 octane fuel, and even if I pushed it all the way to, let's say, 40% on fuel economy, this is not miles per gallon. Miles per gallon are determined by the vehicle weight and what kind of materials in it, and of course, as we all know, military vehicles are extremely heavy. I mean, you are talking about tons and tons of steel, And yes, even with 40% on fuel economy, it will just be, I mean, the fuel mileage will be no, just don't look at it. Some people measure it, but since I'm putting this engine in a military vehicle, 20% is just great on 80 octane and all that boost going in. So again, let's get back to the, yes, he requested it by Newton meter, maybe 380 Newton meter of torque, I think, and I'm pushing 631 pound-feet of torque, so I think I'm much higher than this. Alright, so, and also he said it will be great if you can get it up to 800 horsepower. Oh come on man, really? I'm using only 80 octane fuel. Come on, just don't push that luck. As you can see, we still have some room here, so we can push one more of ignition timing. Yes, it will make it much more efficient, and we will be using a little bit higher on the octane, and the throttle response will increase. Okay, so that's great. We made a good difference here. So now it's 400.6 horsepower and 632.8 pound-feet of torque. As you can see, he said the engine should be above 50% of reliability. This is 87, so this is extremely reliable. The service cost, and this is the least that I could achieve with this turbocharger, $581. As you can see, the fuel efficiency or the fuel economy is 20.5%. I'm using nearly all the octane. The engine is clean, the emissions are very low, the engine is smooth, it's very responsive, you know, for a standard intake engine, and it's quiet. 4,000 rpm, 400 horsepower, 632 pound-feet of torque. The engine is, I know it's a little bit heavy, but remember, this is for using, this is to be used in a military vehicle, so it doesn't really matter. It's made from cast iron, it's okay. The engineering time, now this is what I'm a bit sad here, because it's a little bit high. I mean, this is high, 177 on the engineering time. That's high. This is not low, and I went over the budget by $93.2. Now these 2 points I'm really sad about, but I'm really happy with everything else. So I really hope that you enjoy it, Mr. Charlie, and I really hope that you like it. Now let's fire it up. Let's fire this beast up, because yes, it's a beast. And if you're wondering why, because it's running on 80 octane and it's making 400 horsepower, and that's great. It sounds like a diesel at idle. As you can see, it can push 300.4 or 304 pound-feet of torque at idle. Sorry, 301 pound-feet of torque at idle. Now this is great, 300 pound-feet of torque at idle from a 6-cylinder engine. I know this is a big 6-cylinder engine, but 300 pound-feet of torque at idle, that's amazing. As I mentioned, I'm really happy with the end result, because this engine is working perfectly. It's making the correct power and the correct torque. It's turbocharged, so it's awesome. Any turbocharged engine is an awesome engine, and as you can see, it looks great. The exhaust size is perfect, and it looks really heavy duty. As you can see, that intake manifold, the single throttle body, you know, the single big camshaft on the top. These manifolds, the big intercooler. I mean, it looks really heavy duty, and I'm really happy with the sound of it, the power, the torque, and everything. And I'm really happy that I made it. So thank you so much, Mr. Charlie Anderson, for your cool request. I'm really happy for it. And by the way, guys, all the engine requests are on my Patreon page. I would really appreciate it if you can just go to my Patreon and write your request over there. I mean, I'm new to Patreon. I'm really new to it. If you can't write your request, at least not at least. If you can't write your request, you can write it here in the comment section. But I'm gonna put all your information about your request over there on Patreon. So if you wrote your request here in the comment section, it's okay. I will just copy it from the comment section, and I'm gonna put it on the Patreon page so you can check it, and so you can see what are the new updates for it, when I will make it, and what time it will be uploaded, so you can keep update on your own requests. So Mr. Charlie, your request is on Patreon, and yes, I already posted some updates about it. I hope that you checked it out. And thank you so much guys for watching, and thank you so much Mr. ADAXX for believing in me and for being my first patron on my Patreon page, because you are awesome, and all of you guys are awesome for watching my videos. So thank you for guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, get subscribed if you are new to my channel, hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video, and keep requesting videos, keep requesting special engines like this one, and even more cooler than this one, because I'm always happy to make it for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you very soon as always, and goodbye my friends for now.